Live video.
Hello, thank you for tuning in and looking at us here at Texas Safari. It's our pleasure to discuss Texas Safari and also letting you see a little bit about our giraffes and other parts of the ranch. Right now we're standing right in front of the Giraffe House. And as you can see, it's a big old white house, about 35 feet tall, and it's almost 3,000 feet in size. Right behind us is one of our houses that people rent. That's a 5-bedroom there. It's built about 1880s, 1890s. And this is the hill country of Texas. So it's a very pretty area. But let's go inside and talk to our little friends, the giraffes. The first one we're going to see is Annabelle. She's right inside the door. Come on in. Did you see the notice of filming? All right, here's Annabelle. Well, we're in here with Annabelle right now. Annabelle has just come in from outside. She's been eating. We put her some fresh food out. She eats a lot every day. She's eating for 2 people. And she's getting real big. Let's try to show you a little bit about her. And if you don't mind, let's walk inside with her. She's friendly and nice. We're in here with Annabelle now. And Annabelle's very friendly. Let me get one of her favorite snacks. Annabelle likes rye crackers. She just loves crackers that are rye. You'll see her eating them. She really likes them a lot. And we try to give them to her every day. They're good for her, and she can't get enough. And her little buddy JM, who's right next door to us, he likes them too. But right now we're feeding Annabelle. He's not happy with me. All right, I'll give you one too. Here you go. Now, as you look at Annabelle, I get a lot of questions about Annabelle, and they want to know how much pregnant she is. Well, we had some tests run by one of the most competent people in the world, Carrie Morfeld. Carrie did the test. She's in Omaha, Nebraska, and works with a lot of zoos, and she tells us that she is pregnant and should be due almost any time. As a matter of fact, she's past being due, and she's not cooperating. But this is her first, that's all for now. This is her first baby, and she is about 9 years old. But I'm going to let you look at her udders. I get questions about those about every hour. Well, she's walking off. She'll be back here in a second. She's not happy I didn't give her any more rye crackers. She's going over to her food, which is protein that we get. It's a specialty protein food. You'll see it. Would you show this over here, please? Talking to my friendly cameraman. He's an expert. He knows what he's doing, I think. Do you know what you're doing? But we are moving ahead with it. She's eating the food. We put rocks in here with her because we want her to have a little bit of a challenge eating, so she has to do it. Now, as you watch about her behind, you can see the questions we have a lot is she ready to have a baby? Well, we don't know. We do know she's flashing her tail a lot, and I think she's about to poop for you. Nope, there she goes. She's embarrassing you. She's doing just what we expected her to do. As soon as she got on camera, she had to go to the bathroom. So this will give you an idea a little bit about what we do. Now let's go over here and I'm going to try to show you. If you can look under there, let's try to see if we can see her breast. They have not got milk in them yet, and they're not quite ready, so we're looking forward to it. I get a lot of questions about what kind of flooring she has. If you look down at the flooring, it's a very rough concrete because it needs to be that way to keep her hoofs from getting overgrown. But because of the baby, we put about 1 to 2 inches of sawdust down, and we change that out about every 2 or 3 days. And but she eats a lot, so she goes to the bathroom a lot. If you look at her now, she's eating her favorite food, which is leaves. Those are leaves we picked up off trees over the last winter when they fell off, or spring and fall. And but she really, that's what she prefers, leaves. We put them on the other side of the fence so that it requires her to have to work a little bit to get them. And as you can see, she sticks her tongue through there and gets 1 or 2, but it's something to keep her busy because they eat all the time. They only sleep 20 minutes to 2 hours a day. Now inside this feeder is a mixture of alfalfa and leaves. So they like it. And in this 5-gallon bucket, we put leaves. And you'll see there's holes in it so that they can get out. Now a little bit more about Texas Safari. Texas Safari is about a 1,000-acre high-game fenced ranch and park. It was originally a park that was the first wild game park, maybe in the United States, but certainly in Texas. It's opened up originally approximately 1975 as Texas Safari. And when it opened up, there was no other parks anywhere like it anywhere in Texas. It was the original. It has about 10 miles of paved roads. We have about 3 houses that people rent. 1 3-bedroom, 1 4-bedroom, and 1 5-bedroom. It is not open to the public just to drive through. It's only open to people who are coming to those houses. So it's a private park, and we have a lot of people who just want to come here, and when they come, it's just them and their family. And in a day, they may drive around all day long and never see another person. Now, what they will see is approximately 35 species of animals. Those 35 species of animals, about 15 of them are extinct in the wild, are near extinction. And the approximately 700 to 800 animals, and right now, this time of year, we're starting to have babies born all over. So it's getting real exciting watching them have babies. And we're hoping that Annabelle will have a baby also. Carrie Morfield has told us she thinks it's about a 70% chance. She thinks it's going to be a little girl. Well, we hope she's right. I think that would be good. And JM would like that probably. Now, I think Annabelle would be happy with anything. She has never had a baby before. She's about 9 years old. They live to 20, 25 years normally. She, if you look at her neck, it was damaged when she was about 1 year old, and we hear a couple of different stories about what happened to it. And we don't really know for sure, but it was damaged. It doesn't seem to bother her, except her head doesn't move it doesn't move quite as well as it should, but she gets along well. Her tongue does not stick out as far as other giraffes, and we think that has to do with what happened from the injury. Let's see if I can try to answer any other questions. If anybody's got questions, they can send them in, and we'll try to answer them. I'm trying to pull up right now the questions. I'm sorry. I was asked yesterday, is Texas Safari a hunting ranch? And no, it's definitely not a hunting ranch. This is a ranch that breeds animals and sells it to other ranches and zoos and other people who want to promote the growth of these exotic animals.
They want to know how far overdue she is, if you know.
All I can tell you is we expected her to have a baby the end of March. But as you can tell, she has not had a baby yet, but she is also really big. She's eating for two people, and if you look closely, you can sometimes see movement in her stomach. See the movement? Now, we don't know if that's from her just pulling in her body or if it has to do with the baby moving. But at times, it does have movement there. And she is about 12 feet tall. JM is about 15 feet tall. Now, if you come to the ranch, you get to go up on top and feed them. Let's go up on top and show people what they get to do. I got a couple of volunteers here that are going to help us feed. This is a movie star, Spencer. Spencer, the movie star, is here. Come on, let's go up. If you have questions, you'll need to send them through Facebook. And we'll try to answer them if we can. And I'd like for you to look at how we put, you can look here and you see how we put the leaves out. As we move down here, you can see how they've eaten these leaves and how they stick their tongue through to get them. I just got a text from Carrie, and she wanted me to let everybody know that their gestation period, especially when they're a new mom, varies from 15 to 16 months. So we don't have a problem. We just think she's getting ready to have a baby. She's going over and trying the protein. They move around constantly. So let's go down and let you visit with JM a little bit. Now, watch Spencer and I how we do this, and you'll understand. You hold it out close hand, and then you can pat him and hold him. Use both hands. Yeah. Now, he's much bigger, much more aggressive, and he is the dominant male. He's 12 to 13 years old. Annabelle came from Alto, Michigan, the park up there. Some great people, really nice, first-class people. And they did a great job of taking care of her. They just had more giraffes than they needed. And we appreciate them a lot. Now, JM came from a broker that had it, an individual that had it. We're not really sure exactly where he was before he came here. We were never told, even though we tried to find out. But he does good, gets along, and is friendly, as you can see by looking at him. Let me pull up my questions and stuff again. One question was, why do we only cover half the floor with sawdust? As we go in here and look, and you might watch her as she eats, going through that fence with her tongue through there. You can see how she eats, what she does. And we only cover half of it because we want her to walk on the concrete. By walking on the concrete, that's going to help her hooves. And as you look down on her, you can see her stomach, how her sides are getting bigger and bigger. And you get a better idea of it. Now, JM is much darker than she is, and that's because he's an older male. And again, she's 12 feet, and he's about 15 feet. Now, if you'll notice, there is a couple of yellow-looking brushes that look like they came out of a car wash. Those are brushes that we found that were being used for dairy cattle, and they love to walk up to them and scratch on them. We've got another one we're installing out in the open area that's 4 feet tall that allow them to do their their bellies and all over. As you can see, they have a lot of food. I have questions asked me about their water. You can see down the stainless steel containers that we clean out every couple of days, and those have a continuous water flow. Her milk has not started coming in. She does have a special diet, but it doesn't have anything to do with her being pregnant. It has to do with her being a giraffe. They have a special diet. They get a special food that we buy, and it's from a company called Mazura, M-A-Z-U-R-A. Real expensive food. We give her those, and they seem to like it, although their favorite food is the leaves, as you can tell by what she does now. Now, I was asked, are we going to put up more cameras? The answer is yes. We have some cameras scheduled to be installed on the outside so you can watch her on the outside in addition to watching her on the inside. And we actually are going to scatter cameras all over the ranch and have about 25 of them. So you'll be able to see animals all over. And I'm asked also, what are some of the other animals we have here at the ranch? Well, let me try to tell you. It takes me a second to find them, I'm sorry. Some of the animals we have, the other animals we have, are a Noah, A-O-N-A. They are a dwarf buffalo, and they're from Indonesia, and they are almost extinct in the wild. A lot of these are almost extinct. Another almost extinct that is a beautiful animal is a sable. Another one's Dama gazelle. Then we have Grant gazelles, along with these reticulated giraffes. Nyala, eland, addax, which are extinct in the wild, just like Dama gazelles are extinct in the wild. We also have scimitar oryx. They are extinct in the wild. They're from the Sahara Desert. Black buck, Fowler, Axis, Nubian ibex from Iran and Iraq. Wildebeest, Pierre David. They're from China, and they're extinct in China. There are none there. Aoudad, Blessbok, bison, American bison, and we do have some that are white. The water buck, Nilgai from India, along with black buck and Axis from India. Gemsbok, Nile lechwe. Lechwe are from Africa. Mouflon, camels, Grevy zebra. There's 3 types of zebras. One of them is a Grevy, and the Grevy are almost extinct in the wild. We also have a lot of prairie dogs, and we specialize, and we have the animal we have the most of that actually generates most of the income for these animals is the red stag or red deer, which is European elk, and they are the ones we have. The genetics all come from New Zealand, and they're the ones that have the massive, beautiful antlers. And we get most of our genetics from 2 ranches, primarily one. Deer Genetics is a ranch in New Zealand that we get most of our genetics from. Have we got any other questions?
Yeah, there's a question that...
Now, this is Donovan. Donovan is your cameraman. And he won't let us take a picture of him, but at the same time, he's here and he's doing a great job. He's also the director, I guess.
The question we're getting asked a lot is, because of her neck, is that going to cause any issues with her, like tending to the baby when it's born, or nurturing for it or things like that?
We don't see where the neck is going to cause any problems at all with her and when it comes to the baby. It probably will cause some problems long term because of arthritis. And I think that's, somebody asked me, is she a rescue giraffe? Well, not really, but at the same time, she had some severe problems. And we are trying to make sure everything is done as best as we can. So yes, she has some issues. Is she gonna have any issues for the baby? No, we don't expect any issues with the baby at all.
Another question. Well, first of all, thank everyone for watching, but as you notice, there's someone that continues to post. Click on this live feed. For all the people watching, please do not do that. I don't understand where that's coming from. It's a spam person. We just want to make everyone aware of that, so appreciate that. Another question that people are asking, Jack, is will you be continuing to breed giraffes or have giraffes in the future?
The answer is a couple things. We're working with Carrie Morfield, and she's telling us what we need to do. What we do is we pick up, and we're fixing to go do this in a minute, we're gonna pick up some of her poop. We pick up some of her poop every day, we freeze it, and then we send it to Carrie once a week, and Carrie then analyzes it, checks on the hormone and testosterone levels, and she comes back and tells us how she's doing. So if there's a problem, we should know about it pretty quickly because we're checking it out. I mean, if the testosterone or fit goes bad, the numbers look bad, then we're gonna have a problem. And as of right now, everything looks great. And matter of fact, I'm sending in, if Carrie's watching, Carrie, I'm sending you another big folder full of poop. And I know UPS loves me sending poop through the UPS. But I'm going to send her another box of poop Monday.
The answer to the question, yes, we will be working on getting this streaming live on YouTube for those that have asked that. Also, Jack, people want to understand or know what is going to be the process for when she goes into labor or the birthing process. Will that be filmed?
It will be filmed. And we will try to have it live unless it starts having a real problem. If it starts having a problem, we don't want to cause a problem for children. We are going to be filming it though, and it will be live while it does it. Occasionally our cameras go down just like everybody's computer goes down, and we don't necessarily know of it, but just like a lot of people, when I get up in the middle of the night, which I do almost every night, I check to see what she's doing. I check every night about midnight. I check in the morning about 6, and I check in the middle of the night. So we're monitoring her. We have 3 employees here at the ranch. She's overeating some more over here. And you see her over here. We have 3 full-time employees in the ranch. Louise, and Leonardo. These guys are great. They know what they're doing. They take care of the animals, and they're very gentle with them. And she's nosying around right now underneath the shed. But we do know they do monitor them all the time, and we watch everything they do. And Louise and Leonardo, they do a great job. They monitor, take care of them, not just these, but all the other animals that are here. And they are the people who built this barn. And as you can see, we got about a 3,000 square foot barn. It's we're not quite finished with it. We had to stop because of the weather, but we haven't put the metal on the roof yet. But we will do that eventually. And if you look, there's a nice size fan up there that we turn on in the summertime in Texas. That's called a humongous fan. That fan's about 20 feet across. And when we turn it on, it moves a lot of air, and the goal is to keep it as cool as possible in here and it's comfortable. In the wintertime, it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. We had a big storm this year, and the temperature got down to about 5 below 0. And that's cold for us. Lost a bunch of animals. We lost about 40 animals that died from the cold. But the giraffes, the whole time the cold was, it was 65 degrees in here. They never had it any worse than 65 degrees. So they can't tolerate temperatures, they tell us, and this is a debate people have debated, is they can't tolerate temperatures below 45. And if the temperature is below 45, they have a problem. Texas is a lot like Southern Africa. The temperature variations are about the same. It gets hot in summer. It's over 100 degrees for about 30 days in the summer. They don't mind that at all. But we've got this barn for them to come in, get out in the shade, and sit under the fans. You'll see them laying down a lot at night. What that means is they're trusting and comfortable. If they're not comfortable and trusting, they don't sit down. They don't lay down. Here they do. She lays down every night for a few hours and then just is very still. But some people have got hold of me and said, is she something wrong, or is your cameras messed up? No, she just doesn't move. She lays there and stays straight ahead. You can see in the food she's eating right now, there's some rocks in there that she's moving out of the way. In addition to some of the rocks, we put salt blocks in there so that they have salt to lick. So we try to give them everything they need. Any other questions?
A lot of people want to see outside, what's out there.
Well, let's go outside and look around outside, and let's see, so you can see what it looks like.
All right.
We're walking outside now. Take us a minute to get there, but we're headed that way. Here's a ruler we're about to put up, which will show the height of the animals. It starts at about 5 feet and goes all the way up to a little over 18. We're going to put that on the wall.
Question that just came in. Annabelle arrived to Texas Safari pregnant, and do you know the father and the story about that?
We believe the father's name is Tucker, and he was at the game park in Alto, Michigan. Okay, here we go. Come on out. Right sun today. You'll see rocks in the ground here. We put these rocks on the ground because we want it to wear their hooves down. We want their hooves, and you can see what their barn looks like from the back side. This is the back door. Now as we go up through here, you'll get to see a little bit more of the property. Now their pen goes all the way up, it's up over this hill over here, and that's where we're extending it to. But as you can see, the hills in the background, the lake right beside us. And right in front of us is the compost pile from their sawdust. Just so you know, it's a combination of sawdust and poop, and we let it sit there. It'll turn to dirt, and we'll use it for fill and gardens and different things because it helps out. That gives you an idea of the outside and what it looks like. We're in the hill country. We're actually on the, if you ever watch John Wayne movies, you'll see a lot of movies, and they'll call some of them the Chisholm Trail. Well, you've heard of the Chisholm Trail, where millions of cattle came up in the 1870s and went up into the Kansas area. Well, this is the Chisholm Trail. You're sitting right in the middle of the Chisholm Trail. This is exactly where the Chisholm Trail was, and millions of heads of cattle went right over this ground on its way up to the market. Any more questions? Let's see if we can answer everything. Let's see. My fan club sent me something, but you can book this. You can book us online through TexasSafari.com Or if you want to, go to picklesvacations.com. And both of them can take care of you. Pickles Vacation or TexasSafari.com. Either one will take care of you, and it'll be the same price. If you go through Airbnb or VRBO, they charge you some fees. If you go to those two locations, there is no additional fees. Let's go on in, back in, I guess. You will look over on the right side where it looks like there's some pipes that are all messed up. Well, that's because after we built it, we thought everything was good for the air conditioner, and JM decided last week or so to walk on it, which doesn't do it much good. We're going to have to rebuild it.
When did you take over Texas Safari, Jack? That's a question that's been asked.
Okay.
And the background of like when it got started and how all that.
Yeah, I wanted to bring everybody over here because in the summertime here it gets hot, and they like shade. And sometimes there's trees they can be shaded in, but we built in this shaded area just to sit in. And as you can see, there's trees, shaded area here. Here's JM looking at me. This is one of the pens they come out of. And Texas Safari opened in 1975. It operated as a drive-through park until 1997. We acquired it with no animals, not a one, in 2001. So we've had it 20 years, and in those 20 years, we've added all the 35 species, the 700 animals, and we're still adding them today. We get a new animal, about one new species. We're trying to get a new species every 2 or 3 months. And we're going to expand and get more. We enjoy it, and we hope it does well. And JM's looking at us wanting to come out. As soon as we open these gates, they're going to be hitting it and coming out.
All right.
Let's walk over here. We're going to open up the gate and let JM go out, so you'll see how they do it. Y'all want to come in here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, JM. See, he's waiting patiently. He knows I'm about to open it up, and he wants to go out. There he goes. You can come over here and look at it.
Someone asked what this rectangle thing is.
That square that you're looking at on the bottom is where we might want to move in. He gets a little bigger than we are. The square on the bottom is where we're putting a scale. The scale we have, but we haven't installed it yet. And it also will be in that approximate location, a squeeze chute, where if they are injured in any way, we can put them in that chute and have the veterinarians work on them and see what needs to be done. If they cut their leg or if they do something that at this time we have not built the squeeze chute yet, but we do have the scale to weigh them and so we can see how they're doing on the JM is a little less friendly than Annabelle. Annabelle, we can go in there with her, pet her, and get along with her. We can go in with JM, but we are much more cautious. Males are more aggressive than females, and so you have to be a little bit more cautious with a male than you do with a female. And that's in all species of the animals. I think we're getting close to the end unless somebody has some more questions. Again, try TexasSafari.com or Pickles Vacation, and either one of those will be glad to take care of you and help you. I say Pickles Vacation because That's my daughter and her husband, and they own a travel agency, a big travel agency. Got about 8 or 9 agents, but they not only book here at Texas Safari, but they book cruises, everything else you can think of, and frankly, they do a great job. And she's booked for us a number of cruises, and that's what my wife and I like to do for fun, kind of get away from here and go do cruises. Now we're gonna let Annabelle out, see what she does. We're gonna open her pen. Here she goes. As you can see, JM likes to scratch over on the door. Sometimes he scratches a little too hard. She's always a little more hesitant than he is. And as the sun gets brighter, they get a little less where they go out. They like the shade. She's going to go out now and look for some leaves. There she goes. Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Donovan, thank you for being my director, my filmer, and we appreciate it very much. Last question, somebody said, who owns Texas Safari? Texas Safari is owned by a trust of my 4 daughters. My wife and I, Nancy, we have 4 daughters, and the trust owns it. We manage it as long as we're alive. And but at the same time, it is a trust at all 4 daughters. So call Stephanie, she's one of them, and they can book you to come down here. But we've got Stephanie, Samantha, Chase, and Jacqueline, and they all have husbands or boyfriends. So y'all take care. Come to Texas. We look forward to having you. Book one of our houses. Come see us. When you come, you get to come to the Giraffe House and do a lot of visiting. Thank you for your time.